It is Tuesday, November 9th. And if you follow me on Instagram, I hope you will agree with me that the headband pulled back look is way better than the Conan O'Brien haircut, or not haircut, but style I was sporting yesterday. Whew, goodness, that was a bad choice. So yesterday I did chemo. So the 22nd round of chemo is underway. I saw my pump in. I'll go get that out tomorrow in the afternoon. It went well. I don't even know where to start. I typically, as soon as I get into that chemo chair, like before they even start putting like the steroid stuff in, and I usually nap for a lot of my chemo. And this time I didn't. Which wasn't a problem, but probably about the last 45 minutes of the chemo, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I felt a little nauseous. I didn't feel great, but I could tell I wasn't feeling 100%. One of the things that I found out or figured out over the weekend is I had been taking on this new regimen of chemo that the doc put me on, probably that last 6 rounds that I had before the surgery, because the first regimen that he gave me, I think we did 4 rounds of that more recently, and then realized it really wasn't working, so I switched it up, and with that came different side effects and some different stuff. But he also gave me a prescription for a drug, and I don't remember what it is. It's actually an antidepressant, but it helps with nausea, and it's a drug that you take once a day. I take it the night before chemo and then the following 3 nights, so 4 nights in a row. And then during the day, I don't take any nausea medicine. And it seemed to work last time. Now, as I was nearing the end of that last round of chemo right before the surgery, it definitely was wearing on my body. It was taking me harder to recover from it, longer. And as I went through, I think it was 6 rounds of the new regimen, more and more of the side effects took effect, like the neuropathy. That came into play a lot more so, and especially with cold stuff. And this morning I did realize when I grabbed something, no, it was yesterday when I grabbed something out of the refrigerator, a can or something, I could feel a little bit of tingling. It wasn't a lot, but it was some. And this morning it's not really that bad. Now that will get worse as I go through these next 5 rounds of chemo, because it builds up. I haven't had what happened at the last part of that, the chemo before the surgery was a couple of days after chemo, and especially the day of, I couldn't eat anything that was really cold. It just set my mouth on fire. I haven't had any of that yet, although I would not be surprised if that did come. So anyway, the whole thing about the feeling a little bit nauseous. So when I woke up, I felt a little nauseous, but I came home, I took one of my nausea pills. That helped. I was able to still, at that point, I ate that, so it helped a little bit, but the nausea was still there. When I woke up this morning, I didn't feel 100%, so I took one of the nausea pills, and it's helping. It doesn't make me feel great, but I don't feel bad. So everything seems to be okay. I'm at 75% of the chemo. I will talk to the doctor next week. We'll run the blood test and everything. The way I'm feeling right now, I feel pretty decent. And so at least this first round of this new round is not going so bad. So I'm really happy about that. And I will get that other medication refilled, so that way when I have my next round of chemo, I will try that antidepressant one, and see if that works better, or if just taking the nausea pills work better. So I think other than that, everything is okay right now. Just moving forward, hopefully only 5 more rounds. And this is just chemo to help knock out any little chemo thingies that are floating around inside that haven't attached to anything, and basically get those babies killed off. And that's not like the medical terminology for what's going on, but that's kind of how I see it. So any of you who know me in person, or if you follow me on Instagram, probably know that I have a thing about socks. Shoes too, but I have a thing about socks. And in the last probably 2 years, that thing has become a bigger thing. Or actually, that thing has become a thing, to the point where I now have 2 complete large sock drawers that are all organized with sock organizers, and I can see all of them. And I have them coordinated, organized in like all my food socks, all of my, like I've got picture socks and I have animal socks, and it's a little crazy. Probably have a little more than 60 pair of socks, and that does not include any of my socks I use to like work out in or bicycle in, wear around the house, like my fuzzy socks. That doesn't include any of them. So no, I know it's a little bit much, and I can't stop. So I Googled it the other day to see if this is like really a problem, or if it's just, something I don't need to really worry about. And I read about a guy who actually went to a psychiatrist to find out if his thing with socks is a thing. And actually, it was his family that was worried about the kind of his sock obsession. And so when the psychiatrist was asking him, he said, is this true that you've got this thing with socks and your family's worried about it? And he said, yeah, my family's worried about it. And I really like wool socks. And the doctor said, that's not abnormal. That's normal. I mean, a lot of people prefer wool socks over cotton or polyester. He said, I myself prefer wool socks. And the patient got really excited. He's like, really? Do you prefer it with oil and vinegar or just like a splash of lemon? Have a great day.